over 100 New York Police Department officers are refusing to work in support of Occupy Wall Street movement. Says, in a bizarre twist of fate, a growing movement of New York City Police Department officers are banding together with the Occupy Wall Street movement, while the mainstream media continues to relatively ignore this escalating event. All except Lawrence O'Donnell and more, but Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC has really been giving this some coverage, especially the violence perpetrated by Deputy Inspector Anthony Bologna. He's the one who walked through randomly through the crowd, picking people who were doing nothing to blast with pepper spray and then walking away. This son of a bitch is in trouble now at this point. He really is. Occupy Wall Street movement issued the following statement on their website, quote, "Today we received unconfirmed reports that over 100 blue-collar police refused to come into work in solidarity with our movement. These numbers will grow. We are the 99%. You will not silence us." The news was released shortly after the identity of Deputy Inspector Anthony Bologna was revealed after he pepper sprayed, this says allegedly pepper sprayed a deaf woman. Well, this must be somebody else then. Also, excuse me, it is starting to take hold. I just hope this continues. I hope that this really does become America's Tahrir Square. New York City labor unions are preparing to back, where's this from? Is this from Huffington? I think it is. Are preparing to back the unwieldy grassroots band occupying a park in Lower Manhattan in a move that could mark a significant shift in the tenor of the anti-corporate Occupy Wall Street protests and send thousands more people into the streets. The Transit Workers Union Local 100's Executive Committee, which oversees the organization of subway and bus workers, voted unanimously last night to support the protesters. The union claims 38,000 members. A union-backed organizing coalition, which orchestrated a large May 12th march on Wall Street before the protests, is planning a rally on October 5th in explicit support. And SEIU, which represents doormen, security guards, and maintenance workers, is using its October 12th rally to express solidarity with the Zuccotti Park protesters. SEIU 32BJ union spokesman Kwame Patterson said, quote, "The call went out over a month ago before actually the occupancy of the Wall Street took place. Now," he added, "we're all coming under one cause, even though we have our different initiatives," end quote. The protests found their genesis not in any of the established New York social action groups, but with a call put out by a Canadian magazine. While other major unions beyond the Transit Workers Union have yet to officially endorse Occupy Wall Street, more backing could come as early as this week. Both the New York Metro Area Postal Union and SEIU 1199 are considering such moves. There's more here. I'm going to share some more of this with you when we come back. Maybe, finally, something is beginning to stir in this country. Maybe we've hit that tipping point. Maybe enough is a goddamn enough. I know where I'm going to be October 6th in Washington, D.C., and I hope you're going to be there, too, at Freedom Plaza. We'll be right back. Jackie DeSalvo, an Occupy Wall Street organizer, says a series of public actions aimed at expressing support for labor have convinced unions that the two groups' struggles are one: the Occupy Wall Street and the labor unions. If ever that were true, it is now. DeSalvo, a retired professor at Baruch College in her late 60s, who has emerged as a driving force in the effort to link up labor and the protests, said, quote, "Labor is up against the wall, and they're begging us to help them. And DeSalvo herself is a member of the Professional Staff Congress, which represents teachers at the City University of New York. If unions move to support the protests going on now on Wall Street in Lower Manhattan, that could mean thousands more people marching in protest. So far, the Occupy Wall Street people have not managed to get the 10,000 or so who attended the unrelated May 12th March on Wall Street. There were several unions who helped put together that demonstration. Now, hopefully, they will rally for this grassroots group, OccupyWallStreet.org. Asked if the union support could dilute the message of the Occupy Wall Street protesters, DeSalvo said the group's stance would remain unchanged. She said Occupy Wall Street will not negotiate watering down its own message. I personally hope that union members will support this. This is nothing that they have to lead. Matter of fact, what they have to do here, there's no lead, there's no follow in this demonstration. Decisions are made by consensus. So I hope the union leaders or the union members will understand that they are involved whether they want to show up at the demonstrations or not. That point is moot. I mean, it would be great to see hundreds of thousands of people converge on Lower Manhattan in protest of what's going on. But for anybody in this country, organized or not organized, I'm talking about the 99%ers, anybody who says, well, I don't have a dog in that fight. I work over here for this place, or, I'm doing this or doing that. I really support those people down there, but I don't, it doesn't concern me. Yes, it does. And whether you show up or not, the people who are involved with OccupyWallStreet.org are there for you. So the thing that I get worried about with Occupy Wall Street is, as different groups want to join this, and I hope they will, that there might be some ego problems with people that would want to come on board, and the advice would be, don't do that. This is a nascent movement. This is brand new. It's something that nobody organized, not really. It's something that is as spontaneous as you can get, and the people who have been there for what's it been now, 10 days, 11, people being arrested, people being pepper sprayed, people had their heads slammed against car bumpers, all kinds of violence by the police against peaceful demonstrators. That's how the violence has flowed from law enforcement to the people attempting to exercise what's left of the right to protest peacefully. But this is the lesson, just like the 5th graders and 6th graders in Tampa are supposed to learn. Well, the cops can come into your classroom any time and order you to the front of the room and run a metal detecting wand up and down your body and make you empty your pockets. Get used to it, children. This is your life. Just as those kids have no say about what's going on. The people who don't participate in the beginnings of what one hopes will be a nonviolent rebellion against this nonsense, you have to understand that you don't have a say either. So it's time to change it, isn't it? Come on, we've been talking about this for how long? What's the tipping point? What's it going to take? Blah, 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 blah. It's very clear now that Democrats nor Republicans, as organized political parties, are going to lead anybody out of this. The Democrats have decided to let war criminals wander this goddamn country on book tours. War criminals, mass killers. Are you kidding me? You think the Democrats have anything to do with this? No. And Republicans, they're doing their master's bidding, turning this country into a fascist state. They're doing what the Koch brothers have instructed them to do. No more, no less, until the new orders come down. And I'll be talking about that later tonight, too. Oh, trust me on that one. So, whether or not you support with your physical presence or doing something to support the people who are right now in Lower Manhattan, whether you support them materially or not, you are involved in that demonstration, for God's sake. Just like the woman in Tampa who told me about the situation with her kid. I talked to her again later this evening just to make sure everything was as it appeared in her email, and found out that someone had called her, and the conversation, I think I mentioned that, the conversation she had, and she has to work her way up through a higher level. But she said, oddly, she was the only one, there may have been one other parent that she's aware of who lodged a protest. That's it. You know, when I heard about this, I tried to think how I would react with my second grader. If I picked her up at school and she said, "Oh, guess what, Daddy? The cops came into our class today, and we had to empty our pockets. They were searching for butcher knives." Oh.